and we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
Get back to our roots, like the roots of Western civilization that came out of the Magna Carta. Now, Roma, I got to say the fact that we're even having this discussion and that CNN and Abby Phillip are not just outright defenders of free speech and the First Amendment, which they are not. Our Fourth Estate does not vigorously defend the First Amendment. And it's quite tragic, really, that we live in an era where the American news media is supposed to be the model for the world, doesn't stand up for free speech, pure and simple.
Well, I'm old enough to remember when the President of the United States, Donald Trump, was kicked off of social media and completely banned from all free speech on that platform. So thank God we have Elon Musk, who took over X and changed that for us. But this is not surprising at all from CNN. It is disturbing. It continues to be disturbing. And as long as the Ayatollah is free to post and say whatever they want on social media, then God willing, so should the rest of us be. I mean, there is no excuse for having censorship.
So should your grandma, who's tweeting about how COVID came from a lab and posting memes.
I mean, exactly.
You're talking about Grandma Sue.
Yeah, Grandma Sue would do that. But I
she
think
totally would.
Mark Zuckerberg said in the video that this was basically directly related to the outcome of the election. So I'm not sure that he had a true red pilling like Elon Musk did. But you are seeing that Meta is basically trying to hire a lot of Republicans. He hired my friend Francis Brennan, great hire, over at Meta. And to Abby Phillip's point, oh, people under 35 don't use Facebook. The whole point is it's Meta. They use Instagram.
That's right.
They use
That's
WhatsApp.
right.
So, and listen, if they are just going to shamelessly plagiarize Elon Musk's community notes and things like that, I think that the platform will be better off. And it's a shame, I think, that it took a convincing Republican win to make this happen. But I'd rather it happen now than never. And you see the sort of the red pilling of Silicon Valley, right? Trump brought David Sachs into the administration as an AI czar. I think that Elon Musk buying Twitter set in motion a lot of things that we're now starting to see happen.
Well, and I've got to say, you talked about how you're old-fashioned and free speech matters, and I'm kind of one of these, I may disagree with what you have to say, but I'll fight to the death for your right to say it kind of guys. And that's a fundamental American ethic, and our news media does not carry that flag.
Well, I think it's a good thing that Facebook should be a beacon of free expression, but I don't think people should be thinking, oh, they should get all their news from social media. There's a real role
for get it from this show.
Of course, but there's a role for mainstream media outlets that have the reporters, the editors. And if I didn't have the editors, my stories would be much worse.
Hello, there are plenty of biased editors out there. You're seeing what Washington Post being one of those, New York Times. So many of them are so far left that they are not objective journalists. And let me tell you something. Get rid of anonymous sources. Why don't you start there, where you know?
I would have no career without anonymous sources.
Yes, you could. Yes, because then there's no way to fact check that. There's no way to fact check that. It's sources close to the White House, and you guys would get those stories wrong time and time again. And you're counting on the credibility of individuals who are constantly trying to destroy conservatives. I've seen it time and time again.
They would have
Daniel, I'm
they would
sorry.
have anonymous
Enough.
sources.
That's why citizen journalism is rising up.
They would have anonymous
rising
sources
up in America.
Who would, be telling people what was actually going on in the Trump White House.
Oh, please.
You need to have anonymous sources to tell people what's going on. They don't want to get fired.
No one covering what happened in the Biden White House. I think people will be very
there's going to be a big shift in that press room.
Well, here's something that's not anonymous.
Have been bored under Biden. They've had nothing to report about. That press room is about to get a huge
They have chosen to be bored.
We might even get Joe Rogan in there. Who knows?
They chose to cover up Joe Biden's mental decline.
My favorite part about the Zuckerberg video is he's wearing a $900,000 watch. That's not enough.
We should get Joe Rogan in the White House press room.
To wrap this up,
Joe Rogan in the press room.
Sorry, Chris.
The mainstream media is not going to be happy with the amount of censorship they get until and when they are able to actually say whatever they want without repercussions. And that's what people in the UK have to be seriously worried about, posting something on social media and getting thrown in jail.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.